I'm the song leader at JCA Shalom, which means I stand on tables and lead in song, kids in song, and I direct the plays here. And I think I have to say, my mother was probably the person who, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be doing any of this, because when I was in 8th grade, I was going to try out for a play. They had this all-district audition for a play, and then I chickened out, and my mom says, you have to do it. So I did it, and I got the lead, and I loved it. It was so fun. And then that started my love of theater. Also my mother, when I was about 21, I was in college, and I went with her to work. She taught music at a synagogue in Chicago, and she told me, she said, sing a song for the kids, Robbie. And so I sang a song for the kids. I think I did Romania. And for some reason, they loved it. And the rabbi there said, you should do this for our other branch, our other synagogue. So I started teaching at the other synagogue, and I loved it. They brought me to this camp in Wisconsin to song lead. The people in Wisconsin saw me, and they hired me to be the song leader there. And that's how I became a song leader and worked in the Jewish field. And so my mom, really, if it wasn't for my mom, I might not have done this stuff. She was a big part of it. And I love it. Still to this day, I just love it so much. My wife worked at the JCCs at the time, and I had worked at another camp for 4 years, but I needed a break from the summer grind. I found it hard on my voice. So I took a couple years off, and she worked at the JCCs, and she bumped into a guy named Saul Lippman, who used to be the program director here. Then he was Joel's job, and Saul said, we need a song leader. And Barb asked me if I wanted to get back into it, and I said, yeah, I think I do. So that's how I got back into it here, and God, it's been the best. I've been doing it, I think this is my 21st summer. I took 2 summers off, so I think it would be 21st summer, and I've loved it all the time. People come up to me and they're like, you really love this job still? I'm like, yeah. Like, counselors will sometimes ask me, how can you, love it? Are you faking it? I'm like, no. Do I seem like I'm faking it? They're like, no, you don't seem like you're faking it, but well, that's because I'm not. I really love the kids here so much, and the big bonus the last few years has been working with Elijah. How many fathers get to work with their sons every summer? Not many, and it's a great blessing. I love having him here, and certainly love all the staff that I've seen grow up here. I've known some of them since they were 6 or 7 years old. I've known Marshall for since 97 or something, 98. So he was like 10 or 11. Seeing them all grow up, all the kids, and working with them, it's a great thrill. I love that too. I think my goal is just it's so corny, but fun is the goal. I want the staff to always be involved. I always tell the staff that I would be not as good without them, and I sincerely mean that. I do a good job. I know that our song sessions are really good, but if the staff wasn't involved, I'd be doing an average job, maybe less. So my goal is just to always keep everybody involved every summer. I want to have fun myself too, no question, but I want to see that joy in their faces. Bill, who runs the whole Shalom Institute, Bill Kaplan, always says, I love your song sessions because it's the best example of Jewish exuberance. And that's my goal every summer, to have it be Jewish exuberance personified, and just to have so much joy and energy and spirit. And there's a lot of love that comes out of that. So my goal is just to keep perpetuating that every year. It's just purely energetic for me and for them. It feeds me in a way. I guess you see any performer on stage, they love what the audience gives them, and they love to give to the audience. It's just a sense of synchronicity and togetherness with a whole bunch of people, and just like we're just one band of energy just flowing off of each other, and it's just really nice. I don't know how to describe it better than that. It's just a great feeling of connectedness to everything in the whole room. Very fun. Every session we get between, I would say, 30 and 60 kids, and they all give up their rest hour, and we have to work pretty intensely. The plays are about 14 to 20 pages. We've done like the Rabbi of Oz, so it's about Dorothy Goldstein going out, and she didn't like Hebrew school, and then she goes to Oz and she meets, the scarecrow. As I could study so much Torah, even learn to light menorah, sing prayers out in the rain, but I could jump, I could holler, I'd become a Jewish scholar, whatever. So there's that. Or we've done the Tzedakah fairies, about a little kid who is not charitable, and then he meets his older self because the Tzedakah fairies introduce him to his older self, and he sees what his life could be or what his life should be. This year we're doing The Good, the Bad, and the Maccabee. So it's a Western story, the Hanukkah story. They're pretty much all originals. And the thing, you asked me what it's like, it's just fun. It's hard work because we really have to the kids have to be dedicated enough to learn their lines. So there's one kid who has, one character in this one we're doing this year has got 40 plus lines. And that's a lot to learn. First session and third session are like 8 days of rehearsals. Third session's longer. But it's still hard, and you've got to get it done. And I like to coach acting. That's what I got my degree in theater. I'm from Loyola of Chicago. That's my BA, and I've directed plays for years. My own son, Jacob, was on Broadway for a couple of years, and my son Elijah has written and directed plays, and my daughter does that for her living. So it's been a big part of my life, and so I really try to coach them about acting, like to believe what you're saying on stage. It's not just like a little play that I'm slapping together and, not teaching them anything of value. I teach them about, character objectives. That's what you're supposed to know. Like, what does a character want? So it's actually, definitely an educational component, but I always try to make it fun. And we have a lot of laughs and a lot of cookies. Sometimes, with sodas. I'm grateful that I've had this job for so long. I really love it. I'm grateful to Joel for how he is with this place. He's everything starts from up top, and things are, we're very anti-bully, very pro being who you are, but also being part of a group and not imposing your will upon other people in such a way as that you're hurting them. We try to be really supportive. And I just love, and Allison is like that. She's the assistant director. It all comes from up top to the staff. And it's a wonderful place. And I'm very glad that I've gotten to be a part of it for 21 or 22 years. And I hope to do it for another. If I do it for another 22 years, I'll be 63, 70. I'll be 75. I could do it till I'm 75. All right, everybody, it's time to sing 1, 2, 3. Pharaoh, Pharaoh. There's my closing statement.